Hi bros. Hey guys, here's part, I believe it's 11 of the All About Hammocks series. I don't think this video is going to be too long, but we'll see. Sometimes I get to yakking. But this one we're going to be talking about just basic guidelines, tarp tensioners, and different methods of adjustability for the tarp guidelines. So I guess let's get right into it. So I've tried several different methods, different kind of cordage, different types of line locks and knots, bunch of different stuff, different types of shock cord, bunch of different stuff. And honestly, just what works the best from everything I've tried is this is shock cord right here. You can see the flex in it. Don't get shock cord from Walmart, okay? If you can, try and pick it up at Bass Pro or some kind of outdoorsy store, but don't get that white shock cord, okay? Just, good shock cord is probably going to be about 40 cents a foot, so it's still dirt cheap since you don't need a whole lot of it, and I'll get into what that does here in just a sec. Just avoid real cheap shock cord because it's going to break on you. Okay, so what shock cord actually does, you can see here's my tie out point, here's my actual guide line, which goes down to here to my stake, etc. What I have here is shock cord attached to my guide line. All I did was just like a loop knot right there, ran the cord through it and up to the top, basically to take up slack. Okay, so now what this is called a tarp tensioner. The whole purpose of this is if the wind blows, see that it pulls on the shock cord, but it keeps the tarp nice and taut because it's always pulling on it. Okay, so the wind blows, pushes it back, the shock cord's pulling it back when the wind lets up. So it gives it nice amount of give, so it doesn't rip out your tie out, but still gives it flex. Now, as you can see, here's the shock cord right here, this little loop, or the regular guide line. Here's the shock cord. So the reason I have it this way is because when the wind blows and it's blowing really hard, you can see the guide line tightens up, and the guide line right now is under the tension and not the shock cord. So basically all that does is make sure the shock cord doesn't get over pulled. Now I didn't used to do this method. I used to just take my shock cord, tie it to here, and tie it directly to the end of the guide line, okay? And that worked exactly the same, although if you're in really windy weather, I've had it happen to me several times. That's why I don't do it anymore. The wind will just blow and pull on that shock cord attached directly from here to the guide line, and it'll just snap it right in half. Now this is just completely unattached to anything. It's just blowing around. I've had it happen in storms and just really windy weather. And so this way is just safer because it's not going to break your shock cord. I can show a how-to video or something on this if someone feels like they need it. It's pretty simple, but I wouldn't mind showing you guys if someone requested. So the whole purpose of this, keep the tarp nice and taut without ripping out your tie out points here. Okay, so let's get into guidelines themselves. Okay, this, again, I've done several different types of cordage, braided, and all kinds of stuff, okay? Anywhere from cotton to nylon to polyester to Dyneema, all kinds of different cordage. Now, the first thought almost anyone's going to think is, oh, well, I'm going to go buy me some paracord. Don't do it. Paracord is nylon. You do not want nylon because it stretches too much. You're thinking, yeah, well, isn't that what the shock cord's for, to compensate for the stretching? Yes, but not to the extent that paracord stretches. This is to compensate for the wind and the tarp stretch, not for the massive amount paracord stretches when it gets wet. Plus, paracord's is too big, it's bulky, and it's a lot heavier than it needs to be, honestly. I've used this regular Dyneema, like am steel, but like 1.6 or 0.7, just itty bitty, I mean almost thread-like. And those things work, but they get tangled, okay? The smaller you get with cordage, the more tangles you're gonna have, so keep that in mind. Yeah, it's a way to save weight, but it's also a way to get your tarp all tied up and knotted up and just aggravating. This right here is what I found to work the very best, okay? It's some kind of Dyneema, it's called Z-Line. You can get it from Z-Packs. They sell it in different diameters. This is the 1.5 millimeter and Z-Line. 1.5 millimeter Z-Line. This stuff just has no stretch at all, which is perfect. I mean, it's still good and strong. I mean, it's still rated for something like 200 pounds or something. So, I mean, still ridiculous just for a tarp tie out. But as you can see, I mean, you can grab it and work with it, but it's still, you know, pretty stiff. You can see it doesn't just fall. I mean, it's still got some stiffness to it, which is great. So Z-Line I recommend over anything else I've tried. You can also get the reflective kind of cordage, you know, if you're someone who has trouble remembering where you set up camp or something, you know, and there's this reflective cordage, and it, you know, just glows when someone shines a light on it. That stuff works fine as well. Okay, let me see. Let me go over here. All right. So, I don't have it set up this way right now. Okay, my stake just broke. That's awesome. Right on video. Okay. That doesn't happen very often. I love these kind of stakes. Okay. I don't know how well. Okay. You see that little plastic thing? Okay, so there's the guideline. There's the plastic thing. And then here's basically just a loop. Okay? So here, I'm gonna kind of halfway step through this. There we go. Try and get this set up for you guys here. Okay, see that plastic thing? That's called a cord lock, okay? And this is my favorite method of adjustability. All this is one cord basically threaded through this plastic thing and coming out a different side, okay? Now how that works is you just pop that cord out of the teeth, and you can slide it up or down, make the loop as big as you want, and then inside there you got some little teeth. Probably not going to want to focus. Anyway, and so you just lock it into those teeth, and now it's set. And you can adjust that as high as you want or as low as you want. As you can tell a minute ago, I wasn't even using it just because I just needed to go straight to the ground right here. Now, MSR makes different kinds of cord locks for these. For that work, they all work basically the same concept, but do not get the MSR ones. They're bright red. You know what I'm talking about if you see them. They're little metal red rings with a couple holes in them. Don't get those, okay? Because the problem with those is they rely completely on tension to hold them tight. And so if you get the wind flapping around your tarp, and then so that means your guideline's somewhat getting slack, and then it's tightening up, slack, tightening up again. With those MSR ones that rely completely on the tautness of it to hold it, when it gets slack, those little MSR rings start sliding around on the cordage, and then before too long your tie out point looks just like that. I've had those for quite a while, and I've dealt with them quite a while, but every time it was real windy, it would end up getting so loose the stakes wouldn't even, the guideline isn't even under any tension at all. So I recommend these ones right here that I have. Again, Z-Pack sell these and this cordage. These are just like, I think they're called the micro line locks. You know, I mean, they don't weigh anything. It's just a little piece of plastic. The cord runs through with teeth. I mean, just, there's nothing really that can break or anything on them. Okay, now I'm not going to go into showing you guys how to tie these knots, because honestly, I feel like everyone should probably already know if you're getting into camping. But another method is you take the cordage, wrap it around your stake, and then basically right here, you're going to tie on a prusik knot. So you're just going to make a loop around your stake with the prusik tied onto the base of the line. So you're just going to move that knot up and down to make the loop bigger or smaller. And that goes. So I mean, that works well. I used prusik knots for a long time, and the only problem, well, the main problem with those is some people just don't like tying knots. Me, I'm kind of in between. I don't mind it, but I'd assume not do it if I don't need to. But they get really gummed up in the wintertime. Or like if it's raining or something, the knots just don't like to slide very well, and that's going to also depend on the kind of cordage you use with it. But just keep that in mind if you're going to be in ice or rain or snow, whatever. Those knots get almost impossible to adjust once they start to freeze up a little bit. Okay, well, there's about 1,000 different ways of how to adjust these. There's different kind of hardware, which basically, if any of you guys are familiar with like the Dutchware stingers or tarp worms or the tarp flies or the wasps or any of those kind of thing, all dutchwaregear.com. They've got hardware specifically to do the same things like those cord locks do that I have set up. So there's a million options out there, all to do the exact same thing. I choose the plastic cord lock. I mean, these things are like 17 cents each. They're dirt cheap. There's no real reason to even use metal on them, honestly, but if you want to, have at it, but the necessity isn't there. So I'm not going to go into every single method, because they all work almost identically and they do the same thing. So I mean, really it's just gonna come down to you choosing which method you want to use and how much really you want to spend. This method that I've got, I mean, dirt cheap, does not cost a thing. On the ends of my tie outs, right there on the ends of the doors, I'll show you. I don't even use guidelines, okay? This is just shot cord. And those always hold my doors, you know, so I can move them and pull on them and stuff a little bit to get in and out of my tarp. Here's inside. I've been sleeping out here the last few nights. There's my new underground underquilt. That thing is a beast. Negative 15 degree underquilt, custom made. But anyway, I digress. So, if you want to just explore your options for tarp guideline adjustment, go check out Dutchware Gear and Z-Packs. Weigh out your options. All of them work. Aside from the MSR ones, I wouldn't waste your money on those. Those are expensive and they don't hold very well. Anyway, I guess that is it, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to plan out what the next video is gonna be about. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.